Take one. What's up, people? How you doing out there? It's your boy Mick, and thank you for joining me for another episode of A Puff a Minute. So today, I'm enjoying a La Gloria Cubana. This is a Series N cigar. Very nice. It's it has the Oscuro wrapper on it, right? It's a Nicaraguan smoke, but it's a very good, addition to the La Gloria Cubana brand. I've also tried the Series R before, and I like those as well. I had quite a few of these, so I figured I'd break one of these out today. And I'm pairing that today, trying to do something a little bit different. So you guys know that normally I'm a bourbon type of a guy, but today I'm switching up a little bit. So I'm sipping on a little bit of a classic. This is the Ron Bacardi Gold, right? From originally from Santiago, Cuba. Cuba Libre is the original cocktail that they used to mix out of that right there. It's just a gold rum, and I'm sipping on that and enjoying this La Gloria Cubana. So, if you joined us last week, we experienced a lot of technical difficulty, and we've been trying to decide, and by we I mean me, what's the best way to format for the Puff a Minute, right? So of course we tried the Facebook Live, and we got a lot of good feedback on Facebook Live, but we're literally trying to take it to another level. So if you're out there now, go out and follow us on Instagram at A Puff a Minute. If the Facebook page isn't up yet, there will be a Puff a Minute Facebook page, and of course you gotta follow us on YouTube, because that's where all of these videos will be housed from this point forward. Last week we tried to explain a little bit about what the Puff a Minute is about, right, and how it came about. So for me, I feel like everybody out there, we work hard, and when you work hard, you like to play hard. But sometimes you just gotta find some time for yourself where you just take it back and you just relax and you just woosah. And for me, there's no better way to woosah than with a good cigar, right? And a cigar, man, is like, it's like a fine young lady. You want to take your time with it, right? There's, I've seen people who, are new to the cigar game, and they get them and they'll light them up, man, and they'll just be puffing away, puff, 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 and over smoking it. So we try to, instill in people that a cigar is to be savored, it's to be enjoyed. And the best way to do that is to slow down, take a puff a minute, and that way you can really enjoy the fullness of it. Now, for me, and I've heard other people say this as well, a good cigar is like a mini vacation, because it's a commitment. You know that once you light that tip and take that first draw, you're going to be here for a minute, right? This right here, this is probably about an hour and a half, 2 hour commitment. I promise I'm not going to hold you guys that long. But literally, a cigar should be savored. And my people, my family knows that, okay, Dad's in the backyard, he's got a cigar lit, he got his little jazz going, or whatever the case may be. Let's leave him alone, and whatever we got to bring to him, it can wait until he gets done. All right? And I feel like everybody needs to have that. Whether, like I said, for you it could be a good book. Take some time for yourself, man, where you just shut the world out and enjoy that book, right? It could be, a glass of wine. It could be whatever. But this is a Puff a Minute. So again, we are all about enjoying a cigar, and being able to just stretch that time. Feel me? So a lot of times, man, what we do is we talk about some of the issues of the day. It's unscripted conversation. You may see me just on my own, by myself, like you see today. Sometimes I might have some guests with me, a friend of mine that share the same passion for the cigar game. Excuse me. I may interview somebody out there who's, a politician, a businessman, somebody who's into a social community organization, or whatever the case may be. It really doesn't matter. It's all about, we enjoy cigars, we enjoy relaxation, and that's what this moment is for. So it's really no other agenda than that. As a matter of fact, we shoot right here in Las Vegas. And if you're following the Puff a Minute, right, out there on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or what have you, and you say, you know what, I'm going to be in Las Vegas on such and such date, I would love, to be a guest on the Puff a Minute, just reach out and let us know. We'd love to have you. All right. So what's going on in the world today? Sadly, earlier today, I heard of another school shooting. I believe it was El Paso, Texas, or somewhere out in that vicinity, where 8 students were shot and killed today. And I just don't know what it's going to take for us as Americans to finally be fed up with all of this school violence and all of this violence, gun violence per se anyway, where we stand up and make some changes. Listen, man, I'm all about Second Amendment rights and all of that good stuff, man. I got no issue with it. I'm ex-military as well, so I understand that a firearm in the proper hands is not such a dangerous thing. But the problem that we're seeing is that this is a recurring theme, and it's happening all too often. So you can't sit back and simply ignore what's going on. I mean, there's got to be an answer. There's got to be, something that we can do to stem the tide of all of this senseless killing. Of course, again, I told you guys I'm in Las Vegas, so I thought for sure after 1 October here in Las Vegas that people would start to wake up and see, that there needs to be something done. But we still got the bump stocks out there. We still got all the semi-automatics and all of those, weapons that can kill in mass. And I don't know what it's going to take for us to bring it back a little bit. So that's just my little piece on that, man. Also, something else that occurred on the internet this week, which a lot of people just like, I'm done with the internet, and I have to concur. Did any of you guys see that thing where the young lady was in Starbucks, and I use the term young lady rather loosely, but she was in Starbucks and they refused to give her the key to the ladies' restroom, and then she proceeded to defecate on the floor? Yeah, I got to pause on that one. If you haven't seen it, don't go look for it. I mean, it's ridiculous, but the reason why I bring that up, because I question, I'm like, man, what is the world coming to? Where people just have like so little respect for one another. She didn't stop there, by the way. She picked it up and threw it at the person behind the counter, and then used some napkins and started rubbing it all over the counter. It just doesn't get any worse, people, So we live in a crazy world, and I, for one, am someone who never says it can't get worse. Because every time somebody says it can't get any worse or we can't go any lower than where we actually are right now, it tends to go lower and it tends to get worse. So the only thing I can say is, hey, you got to live your life. You got to shoot your regular, right? And let the outsiders stay on the outside. Keep your circle tight, right? And when you get the opportunity, appreciate the beauty in the world, right? And do that with a good cigar. That's what I'm talking about. I find that life can be very challenging. This week, for me, I don't know about you guys, but it's been a challenging week, and you get out and you set out to do good in the world, but there's always those people on the outside who have absolutely nothing better to do than to try to sow discord and confusion and to try to take you off the track of what your what your purpose is and what you're here for, right? And to those people, I simply say mute, right? Y'all heard of the Mute R. Kelly campaign, and we tried to talk about that last week a little bit, and we got cut off, right? But there's literally a hashtag going around right now where they're like saying Mute R. Kelly, and they're not playing his music on Spotify and Apple Music, and a lot of his concerts are being canceled because people are kind of fed up with the things that he's been associated with. And I'm not saying that the brother is guilty or not guilty or whatever, right? But I'm just saying at some point you got to mute people. And I've had to mute some people around me recently, right? So if you're sending emails and you're not getting a response, you could be muted. If you call on my phone and I'm not picking up, it could be because you're muted, right? I'm not saying take offense. I'm saying I got to take control over my ear gate, right? My eye gate, my ear gate, the things that I see and hear, I have to take control of it and not allow others on the outside who have no other agenda than to bring confusion to infect that, right? That's the best advice I can give you guys this week. But I'm just out here chilling. I'm talking. I think I hear Grover Washington, Mr. Magic playing in the background. That's kind of theme music for me right there. So I'm about to shut it down, you know. But it's your boy Mick coming at you with another Puff a Minute. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing with me. Please go out and share this video. Please subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Subscribe on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. I guess that's the right way to say that, right? And we'll see you out here next week, the same time, same place. And yeah, peace. All right. It's your boy Mick, a Puff a Minute. We are not just blowing smoke. See you next week.